I need to be honest with you. Something is coming in 2026 that most people are not paying attention to. And I'm not talking about some conspiracy theory. I'm talking about confirmed supply chain disruptions that are going to hit Target specifically. And it is going to affect 12 everyday essentials that you probably use right now. I've spent the last 6 months talking to retail managers, logistics coordinators, and industry insiders. And what they're telling me is that by March 2026, we're looking at price increases of 100 to 200% on specific items. Now, before you think this is clickbait, hit that subscribe button because I'm about to share information that could literally save you thousands of dollars. The items I'm covering are not the obvious ones everyone talks about. These are things sitting on Target shelves right now that nobody is thinking twice about. Let's get into it. Look, grocery prices are rising faster than most people can keep up with. I've done the math for you. I put together a free emergency pantry blueprint that lists the exact 15 items you can get at Aldi, Walmart, or Costco today to feed your family for 2 weeks. It's 28,000 calories for less than the cost of a takeout pizza. You can grab that shopping list for free at the link in the description so you can stop worrying and start prepping. Essential number 1 is store brand baby formula. The first item on this list is going to make parents panic, and honestly, it should. Target store brand baby formula, specifically the Up and Up line. Now, you might be thinking formula is always available, but here's what changed. 3 major formula manufacturers are consolidating production facilities throughout 2025 and early 2026. I spoke with a distribution manager 2 weeks ago who told me that Target store brand contracts are being renegotiated right now, and the prices are going to skyrocket. Here's why this matters specifically for Target. Unlike name brands that have multiple production lines, store brands like Up and Up rely on contract manufacturers. When those manufacturers prioritize their own branded products during shortages, guess what gets cut first? The store brands. Back in 2022, we saw this exact scenario play out. Name brand formula was scarce, but store brands completely vanished. Parents were paying triple the normal price just to feed their babies. Right now, a canister of Up and Up formula costs about $18. Industry projections show that by March 2026, that same canister will hit $35 to $40. That's more than double. Here's my strategy. If you have a baby or know someone who does, start buying an extra canister every shopping trip. Formula has a shelf life of about 18 months when stored properly. Keep it in a cool, dry place away from heat and humidity. I personally keep mine in a climate-controlled closet. Do not wait until you see empty shelves. By then, prices will already be insane, and rationing will be in effect. Stock up now while it's still affordable and available. Essential number 2 is Good and Gather canned goods. Number 2 is sitting in the pantry aisle right now, fully stocked, and nobody's thinking about it. Target's Good and Gather canned vegetables and beans. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. The aluminum shortage that everyone forgot about after 2023 never actually got resolved. We just stopped talking about it. But manufacturers are still struggling with supply issues. A logistics coordinator told me that by early 2026, production is going to slow significantly because raw aluminum costs are spiking again. Target's Good and Gather line depends on efficient production to keep prices low. When that efficiency disappears, prices jump immediately. Right now, you can get Good and Gather canned black beans for about 89 cents. That same can will be $1.79 to $2 by March. That might not sound like much, but when you're feeding a family and you use 10 cans a week, that's an extra $50 a month. Here's what I'm doing. Every Target run, I grab 20 cans of various Good and Gather products: black beans, corn, green beans, diced tomatoes. I rotate them into my regular cooking so nothing expires. The beauty of canned goods is the shelf life. Most last 3 to 5 years, some even longer. Store them in a cool, dark place. Basements are ideal. If you don't have a basement, a pantry or closet works fine. And here's a pro move most people miss. Buy the low sodium versions. They're the same price, but you control the salt content. In a scenario where you're eating more canned food than usual, controlling sodium becomes important for your health. Essential number 3 is favorite day baking supplies. Okay, number 3 is something I didn't even think about until a bakery owner friend tipped me off. Target's favorite day baking line, specifically flour, sugar, and baking powder. Here's the situation. Wheat production in North America is projected to drop significantly in 2025 due to climate issues and reduced planting. Sugar imports are being restricted by tariffs that take effect in early 2026, and baking powder manufacturers are consolidating, which always means price increases. Right now, a 5-pound bag of Favorite Day all-purpose flour is about $2.50. By March 2026, that's projected to hit $5 or more. Same with sugar. A 4-pound bag is currently $2.89. That's going to double. Why does this matter? Because baking supplies are the foundation of comfort food: bread, pancakes, cookies, cakes. When times are stressful, people turn to comfort food. Having the ability to bake from scratch is not just economical, it's psychological. Last year, during a week-long power outage, I made fresh bread using a camping stove. That smell, that warmth, completely changed the mood in my house. My kids forgot we didn't have electricity. Here's my storage method. Transfer flour and sugar into airtight food-grade buckets. Add oxygen absorbers. Stored this way, flour lasts 10 to 15 years. Sugar lasts indefinitely. I keep about 50 pounds of each. It costs me less than $100 total, and I've got years of baking ahead of me. For baking powder, keep it in its original container inside a sealed plastic bag. It stays good for about 18 months. Buy extras now while it's cheap. Essential number 4 is up and up over-the-counter medications. Number 4 is critical, and honestly, I'm surprised more people aren't talking about this. Target's Up and Up brand over-the-counter medications, specifically pain relievers, allergy meds, and cold medicine. Here's what's happening. Pharmaceutical ingredient shortages are already affecting generic drug production. Most generic OTC meds, including Target's Up and Up line, source active ingredients from overseas. Supply chain disruptions in those regions are causing delays and shortages. A pharmacy manager told me that by mid-2026, we're looking at significant gaps in OTC availability, especially store brands. Right now, a bottle of 500 Up and Up ibuprofen tablets costs about $8. That same bottle will easily hit $18 to $20 when shortages kick in. But here's the real issue. It's not just about price, it's about availability. During the pandemic, remember when you couldn't find Tylenol anywhere? That's coming again, but worse. Here's what I'm stocking: ibuprofen, acetaminophen, antihistamines for allergies, cough suppressants, and antacids. I'm buying the largest bottles available because the per unit cost is lower. Storage is simple. Keep them in a cool, dry place, away from sunlight. Most medications maintain effectiveness for years beyond the expiration date when stored properly. I'm not saying ignore expiration dates, but understand that they're conservative estimates. Check your stock regularly. Rotate older bottles to the front. Use them in daily life and replace them. This keeps your stockpile fresh and usable. Essential number 5 is good and gather spices. Number 5 is something that will completely destroy your morale if you don't have it. Target's good and gather spice line. And before you roll your eyes thinking spices aren't essential, let me tell you something. I did a 30-day challenge last year eating only basic prep food, rice, beans, canned vegetables. By day 8, I was so mentally exhausted from bland food that I almost gave up. Then I remembered I had a stash of spices. Adding cumin, garlic powder, paprika, suddenly my boring rice and beans tasted like something worth eating. Here's what's happening in the spice industry. Climate change is hammering spice-growing regions. India, which produces 70% of the world's spices, had massive crop failures in 2024. Production hasn't recovered. By 2026, spice prices are projected to increase 150 to 200%. Right now, a container of Good and Gather garlic powder costs $1.50. That's going to $4 or more. Cumin, paprika, black pepper, all doubling or tripling in price. Here's my strategy. I buy duplicates of every spice I use regularly. Garlic powder, onion powder, cumin, paprika, chili powder, Italian seasoning, cinnamon. Store them in a cool, dark cabinet. Heat and light destroy flavor. Whole spices last longer than ground, so if you have a spice grinder, buy whole and grind as needed. I keep about 40 different spices in my stockpile. It cost me maybe $60, but the value is immeasurable. Being able to transform bland survival food into something your family actually wants to eat is the difference between maintaining morale and everyone falling apart. Essential number 6 is Market Pantry peanut butter. Number 6 is a protein powerhouse that's about to get expensive. Target's Market Pantry peanut butter. Peanut production is facing serious issues. Droughts in major peanut growing states like Georgia and Texas reduced yields significantly in 2024 and 2025. Recovery is slow and demand keeps increasing. A commodities analyst I spoke with said peanut butter prices are going to spike hard in 2026, with projections showing 100% increases by March. Right now, a 40-ounce jar of Market Pantry peanut butter costs about $5. That's going to $10 or more. But here's why this matters beyond just price. Peanut butter is shelf-stable protein. It doesn't need refrigeration, lasts for years, and it's calorie-dense. 2 tablespoons pack about 200 calories and 8 grams of protein. In a survival situation where fresh protein is scarce or expensive, peanut butter becomes essential. I keep about 30 jars in rotation. I store them in a cool pantry, and I actually use them. Every time I go through a jar, I replace it with 2. This keeps my stock growing while ensuring nothing sits too long. Natural peanut butter with just peanuts and salt lasts longer than the versions with added sugars and oils. Look for those. And here's a survival hack. Peanut butter can be mixed with oats and honey to make no-bake energy bars. During a power outage, you've got instant nutrition that kids will actually eat. Essential number 7 is Good and Gather pasta. Number 7 is a staple nobody thinks about until it's gone. Target's Good and Gather pasta, all shapes and varieties. Pasta seems like it's always available, but here's what's changing. Durum wheat, which is what pasta is made from, is becoming increasingly expensive due to poor harvests in North America and Europe. Pasta manufacturers are already raising prices, and store brands like Good and Gather are going to follow. Right now, a 1-pound box of Good and Gather pasta costs about $1. By March 2026, that's projected to hit $2.50 or more. That's a 150% increase. Here's why pasta is critical for your stockpile. It's shelf stable for years, requires minimal preparation, and it's incredibly versatile. You can pair it with canned sauce, butter, and cheese, or just olive oil and garlic. In a scenario where cooking options are limited, pasta is quick and easy. I personally stock about 100 pounds of various pasta shapes: spaghetti, penne, rotini, macaroni. It costs me less than $100, and it's stored in airtight containers in my pantry. Pasta doesn't require special storage. Just keep it dry and away from pests. Transfer it from cardboard boxes to sealed plastic bins if you're worried about bugs. And here's a pro tip. Whole wheat pasta has more fiber and protein than regular pasta, and it lasts just as long. It's slightly more expensive, but the nutrition boost is worth it. Essential number 8 is favorite day coffee. Number 8 is going to hit hard for a lot of people. Target's favorite day coffee line. Now you might think coffee isn't essential, but let me tell you, in a crisis situation, coffee is psychological survival. Coffee production is collapsing. Brazil, which produces about 40% of the world's coffee, had catastrophic droughts and frosts in 2024. Vietnam, the second largest producer, is seeing reduced yields due to climate instability. Coffee prices are already climbing, and by 2026, we're looking at historic highs. Right now, a 30-ounce canister of favorite day coffee costs about $8. By March, that's projected to hit $18 to $20. That's more than double. But here's the bigger issue: availability. When prices spike, people panic buy, and shelves clear out fast. If you're a daily coffee drinker, imagine waking up to no coffee for weeks. That's not just inconvenient, it's brutal. Here's what I'm doing. I buy an extra canister every Target trip. I store them in a cool, dark cabinet. Coffee stays fresh in an unopened container for up to 2 years. Once opened, transfer it to an airtight container and use it within a month for best flavor. I also picked up a manual coffee grinder and bought whole beans. Whole beans last longer than ground coffee. If you've got space, stock whole beans and grind as needed. And here's a survival consideration. Coffee is a trade good. In a prolonged crisis, people will trade valuable items for coffee. It's lightweight, shelf-stable, and universally desired. Essential number 9 is up and up batteries. Number 9 is something every household needs, but nobody thinks about until they're out. Target's up and up batteries, specifically AA and AAA. Here's what's happening. Battery production relies on lithium, cobalt, and other minerals that are becoming increasingly expensive and difficult to source. Most battery manufacturers are prioritizing rechargeable batteries for electronics, which means disposable alkaline batteries are getting less attention and higher prices. Right now, a 24-pack of up-and-up AA batteries cost about $10. By March 2026, that same pack will be $20 or more. But here's the real issue. In a power outage or emergency, batteries are essential. Flashlights, radios, medical devices all depend on batteries. Last year, during a winter storm, my neighbor came knocking, desperate for batteries. His flashlight had died, and he had no backup. He offered me $20 for a 4-pack. I gave them to him for free, but that showed me how valuable batteries become instantly. Here's my strategy. I stock about 200 AA and 100 AAA batteries. I rotate them by using the oldest ones first in everyday devices like remotes and clocks. Store batteries in their original packaging in a cool, dry place. Heat shortens battery life. Also, consider rechargeable batteries and a solar charger. Initial investment is higher, but long-term you've got unlimited power as long as you've got sunlight. Essential number 10 is Good and Gather canned soup. Number 10 is comfort in a can. Target's Good and Gather canned soup line. Canned soup is one of those things that seems like it'll always be available, but here's the reality. Soup manufacturers are facing the same aluminum can shortages I mentioned earlier, plus ingredient cost increases. By 2026, canned soup prices are projected to double. Right now, a can of Good and Gather chicken noodle soup costs about $1.50. By March, that's going to $3 or more. Here's why canned soup is essential beyond just convenience. In a stressful situation, warm soup is comforting. It's easy to prepare, requires minimal water, and it's psychologically soothing. During a power outage last winter, I heated up canned soup on a camping stove, and it completely changed the mood. My kids stopped complaining about the cold and actually felt cared for. I stock about 50 cans of various Good and Gather soups. Chicken noodle, tomato, vegetable, minestrone. I rotate them into regular meals so nothing expires. Storage is simple. Keep them in a cool, dark place. Canned soup lasts 2 to 5 years, sometimes longer. And here's a pro tip. You can stretch canned soup by adding rice or pasta. One can that normally feeds 2 people can feed 4 with some added carbs. Essential number 11 is favorite day cooking oil. Number 11 is something you use constantly but never think about. Target's favorite day cooking oil, specifically vegetable and canola oil. Cooking oil prices are about to explode. Soybean and canola crops, which are the base for most cooking oils, are seeing reduced yields due to weather issues. Add in increased demand for biodiesel, which uses the same crops, and you've got a supply crisis. Right now, a 48-ounce bottle of favorite day vegetable oil costs about $4. By March 2026, that's projected to hit $9 or more. That's well over double. Here's why cooking oil is critical. You need fat for cooking, for calories, and for making food taste good. Oil is shelf-stable, versatile, and essential for almost every type of cooking. I keep about 20 bottles of various oils, vegetable, canola, and olive oil. I store them in a cool, dark cabinet. Heat and light make oil go rancid faster. Unopened, most oils last 1 to 2 years. Once opened, use them within a few months. Here's a storage hack. Buy oil in smaller bottles rather than giant jugs. Once opened, smaller bottles get used up faster, reducing the chance of rancidity. Essential number 12 is Up and Up paper products. Number 12 is the final item, and honestly, it's one people are going to panic about. Target's Up and Up paper products, specifically toilet paper and paper towels. We all remember 2020 when toilet paper vanished overnight. That wasn't a supply issue, it was a panic buying issue. But in 2026, we're looking at an actual supply problem. Pulp prices, which are the raw material for paper products, are skyrocketing. Mills are closing or reducing production due to environmental regulations and cost pressures. By March 2026, paper products are going to be significantly more expensive and potentially harder to find. Right now, a 12-pack of Up and Up toilet paper costs about $8. That's going to $16 or more. Paper towels will see similar increases. Here's my strategy. Every Target trip, I buy one extra pack of toilet paper and one pack of paper towels. I store them in a dry area, like a closet or garage. Paper products don't expire, so there's no downside to stocking up. I currently have about 6 months worth for my family. And here's a consideration: if paper products become scarce or unaffordable, having alternatives like cloth towels and bidets becomes important. I installed a bidet attachment on my toilet for $30. Best decision ever. It reduces toilet paper usage by about 75%. Essential number 12 is Up and Up paper products. Look, here's the bottom line. These 12 Target essentials are sitting on shelves right now, affordable and available. By March 2026, that changes completely. I'm not fear-mongering. I'm sharing information from industry insiders who are watching these supply chains every single day. You've got a choice. You can wait and see, and then panic buy when prices double and shelves start clearing. Or you can act now, stock up gradually, and protect your family from the financial hit that's coming. If this information helped you, smash that like button and subscribe for more content that gives you real, actionable strategies. Drop a comment telling me which of these 12 items you're stocking up on first. And next time, I'm breaking down the 3 biggest prepping mistakes that will get you in serious trouble when things go south. You don't want to miss that. Look, here's the bottom line. These 12 Target essentials are sitting on shelves right now, affordable and available. By March 2026, that changes completely. I'm not fear-mongering. I'm sharing information from industry insiders who are watching these supply chains every single day. You've got a choice. You can wait and see and then panic buy when prices double and shelves start clearing. Or you can act now, stock up gradually, and protect your family from the financial hit that's coming. If this information helped you, smash that like button and subscribe for more content that gives you real, actionable strategies. Drop a comment telling me which of these 12 items you're stocking up on first, and next time I'm breaking down the 3 biggest prepping mistakes that will get you in serious trouble when things go south. You don't want to miss that.